Hello, the pedal people out there. What's up? Today we're looking at this. Or are we? Or are we looking at this? Or are we looking at this? I cannot tell you. Well, actually, I can tell you. Yeah, we're looking at this. What you see there is just much bigger. I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's the same damn size. Just, see? It's the same, just, the eye looks different. It's actually more of a high resolution eye. So what did they do? What did Walrus Audio do? They changed the graphic. They didn't even change the color. Even though they have a lot of like special editions that of course, you know, I can't get my hands on because it's special edition for special people. Not special bus, but the people that pay the money to have a special color edition of, you know, the Walrus pedal. No, they do cool stuff. So, the Luminary, I have to hold this here, was and is a great pedal. Now, updated. Not in sound. I made sure that I get this in my head. Sound is the same, but user interface has been improved because Walrus Audio people listen to people. Well, not me, but you people. You're saying, well, would be nice if it did that. And then you bug the shit out of them. And then they go and say, well, maybe we'll do a version 2 and, you know, sell to the same people that bought this, just an even better pedal. So let's go through a couple of things. First of all, something that I had to deal with a couple of people and also in my own demos, and we figured out is the Luminary does not work out of the box with the Strymon Zoomer power supply. That is something you need to know if you have a Strymon Zoomer. The Zoomer has all 500 milliamps throughout all the outputs, which is great, but apparently it slowly ramps up those milliamps. The Luminary doesn't like that. It's a digital pedal, so it wants power all the time and a lot of it. So it doesn't boot up when you use the Zoomer. There is a workaround. For about $7, you can buy a current doubler using 2 outputs, not voltage, double the current, $7, and your Luminary works. It's a workaround just to let you know, so you can use a Luminary if you have a Zoomer. For $7 more. In my last Walrus Audio video, I complained about the black and white, stupidly kind of thrown in there only for the pedal reviewer, manual. Now, look at this. All glorious color, nicely folded, however you do this. Oh, look, Luminary version 2. And yeah, that's how you actually get it. I just jumped the gun. Here you can see the dip Here you can see the dip switches on the inside, which let you determine the function of the expression input, which no, we're not going to look at because otherwise it's going to be a 4-hour demo. With the expression pedal, if you choose to use one, you could control minus and plus octave volume, only +1 octave volume, the attack control, that knob, the flutter control, that knob, which now is not flutter but something different. It's a different kind of flutter. And the dry wet control. You can remote control that with your foot by picking with the dip switches on the inside of the pedal. So, what has changed? A couple of cool things. Apparently many people said, well, we never use anything above this setting for the volume of the octaves because it's just too much octave. And they say, well, if you don't use that at all, let's get rid of it. Which means we have more fine control of the knob because this whole range has been eliminated. And now this is, no wait, this is where previously we were here or something like that. Yeah, so more range on the 4 octave knobs. These are volume knobs for the octaves. That's how that works. Then we have dry wet, which means only guitar, only organy octaves. Attack is now longer. So you want to really swell. It is elongated. I'm sorry. And the filter, what's with the filter? Revised envelope low pass filter. It has been revised. In what way? It's just better. That's what it is. It's a better filter. Something to me that doesn't make an awful lot of sense is this would be all the way all the frequencies are there, and then you roll it back to the left to have the frequency spectrum removed and to have it duller. That's not how the filter works. It works exactly the opposite. The more you dial it in, the more filtration there is. It's just a different way of thinking about it. For me, it's counterintuitive. Then again, what do I know? So this is all the way filtered, and this is no filter at all. And the flutter now is a tremolo. No depth, and it is kind of depth and speed at the same time. So when it's here, it's just off, and the more you dial it in, the more speed or le speed in French will come in, and also, the depth is adjusted. If you hold this in, the pedal is now on. If you let go, the pedal is off. That's a momentary bypass. Well, actually not a momentary bypass, it's a momentary on-pass. It's a momentary use the pedal for a second thing. So you can play a chord and then let go. Pretty cool. And here we have le presets. Le red or rouge, le verde or la verde, I don't know. Green and bleu. Le bleu. Très joli le bleu. And off. Off is whatever is set up here, I think. Setting up a preset is super easy. You just go to whatever color, hold it in, and whatever you set up is set up. Have we covered everything? Yes. Want to hear the damn thing? Sure. We'll turn it on. Hey, by the way, have you ordered a HP mug? Why haven't you? Links below, teespring.com. Oh! In the box is a manual. A manual cunt. Get it? No. Handmade in the USA. Nice box. It feels velvety. I'm oily. Holy crap. But now there's the sack. The Walrus Audio sack. Look. You can actually pull this closed. This is awesome. This is a nice sack with a nice logo. Completely unnecessary because once you take your pedal out, you will never use it for anything, but you also won't get rid of it because that's nice. We have a Walrus Audio sticker, and that's a nice sticker. We have a pig, and we have register your product. Okay, that's neat. Then I got in my box also this. The Altoids thing, but the Walrus thing with a whole bunch of picks. Should I play with Walrus? I'm gonna play with the Walrus pick. It's not my size. But I'll do it anyway. I'm playing with this monstrosity, which is the Music Man. What is it called? St. Vincent with gold hardware. It's a limited edition. Right now going into the Smallbox 50 by Friedman, set up to clean, but we're gonna crank that baby to see how it works with the octaves. Going into Universal Audio Aux, and I have a little bit of le reverb happening there because that is nice. Should I le tune? I tuned before the video, but apparently that doesn't do anything. So, I'm in the bridge pickup. Bridge? No, I'm on this thing right here, whatever that's called. If I turn it on, you have to push it and then it turns on. Soft clicky switches, of course. Everything's centered, which is not really a sound I probably want. Let's look at the tremolo later. One more thing, the attack does not affect the dry signal. Let's call it what it is, okay? Let's call a spade. That apparently is a saying, I don't know what it means. Hey, look, it's a spade! I know it's a spade, why are you calling it a spade? I don't know. It's a POG, okay? Electroharmonics makes that thing, it's bigger, it's not as pretty, it's not as well built. But the POG can actually also affect the guitar signal. In this case, it doesn't. If you want your signal to be completely affected, you have to go only wet. Now, in me asking, well, what's that all about, they said, just use a volume pedal. That's what they said. If you want that effect, use a volume pedal. Which they're not trying to sell me volume pedal because they don't make any. Okay, moving on. Let's do attack really short. Latency, but it is pretty damn fast. Before we go into cool sounds, let's do this. Let's examine the individual octaves. Sounds like a stampede of elephants. That's like a walrus on the beach. That's like mice having a party. And that is actually, in fact, the exact sound that I hear when Leslie's calling the dogs. Because when she talks to me, she has a normal voice. When she calls Bruno, it's Bruno! It's like that. So this is what I hear when she calls any of the animals. For some reason, her voice goes into bat territory. Bruno! Like that, you know? You could get those cool Satriani kind of sounds. Like an additional guitar on an album somewhere in the background, or to simulate Tibetan horse whistles. Who knows? I like it, and I'm not shitting you. It's pretty much Leslie when she calls the dogs. So, realistically, what would you dial in? Let's say we have a bit of minus octave, bit of this octave, not too much. quite a bit of guitar at that level. I thought it ramps up a bit more. So let's look at what this does, especially if you have more higher octaves. The filter also has an attack. The filter isn't immediately there, but there's no speed for the filter. Listen. Kind of weird. It definitely is duller, but it gets even more duller later. And then we have, I kind of like it duller. Okay, I get it. It does sound different than the filter did before. So, Flutter now is a tremolo. Okay, that is neat. It's subtle enough, but also quite severe. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's what it is. Come on, people, that's nice. like that a lot. So, that's something you can of course do. Let's have the fun of just punching in a preset and see what the nutsos from Walrus Audio did. Pretty cool. See, the filter closes, but at what speed does it close? I don't understand. I don't care, because it's cool. Wait, does anything actually change here? I don't think they pre-programmed any presets into this, because this is pretty much the one that I programmed. I look like a fool, and so do they. Okay, let's go. Red, no attack, no this, loads of this, none of that, just minus octave here. Hold this in. Done. We do just that, some of that, loads of attack, no filtering. Wait, now it's doing something. Wait. Neato. So, that's what it's set up to be. So there's 4 presets, the one that is set up right now, and 3 pre-programmed ones. Leaves us one thing to check. What kind of nasty shit can we do with the drive? Right now, in front of the Smallbox 50 by Friedman. So, obviously, I can't really tell you what to do with it. There's so many things you can do. The octave, the high lead support, and of course, organy pads. And funky 70s ridiculousness. Even though it's not meant to be an Ottawa from Canada. see if I can dial in an organy kind of thing, which would probably be like so. Relatively slow, some filtering, maybe a little bit of, and then too bad that I don't have depth on that. What note I'm looking for. Hell, done. And that is magic. Luminary version 2. Luminary version 1. Shirt that has nothing to do with Luminary, but that you can get at mrgugu.com. Just saying. Also, shirts and mugs on my Teespring thing. Links below. So, that was the commercial part of the video. What do I think? It's as great as the Luminary V1. The fact that those octaves don't immediately jump out and there's a more usable range and easier to dial in is nice. Has the increased attack time, does it stand out? There might be more. It's still not what I imagined when I hear increased attack time. I imagine like, wah. It is longer, but it's probably longer than the first one. No, that still sounds very wrong. It's the attack time on the Luminary V2 is longer than on the V1. I think it could still be longer. And I don't get the filter because it is a sweep. It is not in EQ, so I don't get how long the sweep is. But whatever they did, it's cool. That's it. It feels as if it should be attached to the attack time, but I don't think it is. So whatever magic they did, it creates cool sounds without you having to think about filter speeds and sweeps and whatever. Just dial it in and go with it. Now I think the flutter now as a tremolo is pretty great. I think before it was modulation-ish and didn't really. It was like I don't need it. But I love it here. I love the slow movement, but it's already too much depth. So if this was a knob that I could pull out and have depth on the same knob, or like a clicky knob or whatever, or like a switch here, you know. High and low for depth, deep and not deep, undeep. I think it could be a little bit more useful. I like the slow speeds, but it's too much depth, so I go to the higher speeds, and then it's more of a rotary kind of sound. And of course, for the organ typey stuff, that really works. Now, are these things enough of a reason to upgrade if you have a Luminary version 1? Personally, I don't think so. And I don't think that's what they're going for. They have a product that is pretty damn great, and they said, well, we listen to the users, and let's make sure that what new users are getting is more of what the user experience has shown people that already have it. This might also mean that if those things I said, like, you know, the tremolo and those things are not of major importance to you, and you primarily want the octaves, that you might be able to grab a Luminary V1 pretty cheap on the used market. Reverb or shops like Sweetwater at Thomann might want to, you know, get rid of their V1 so that they can stock the V2. That happens. So for a short time, the V1s that have a different kind of eye on it might be, you know, cheaper. So you might want to grab one of those. But the upgrades are useful, and it's still a pretty damn good pedal. And if I had the choice because I wanted to do paddy things and those kind of sounds on my board, and it's between a Walrus, Luminary, and any other multi-octave pedal like the, I can say that, like the Pog, it would be the Luminary for me all the way, period. It's smaller, it's well built, it's got an eye on it, what else do you want? So, animals at the end. Thank you, Patreon people. Get some shirts. Not this one. Don't get this. And bye-bye.